Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We have DJ Never here.
Yo, what up?
We got DJ D Miles.
What's good, what's good?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
We got a special guest. This is like an OG in Las Vegas. He's a great DJ. He's like I would say he's like the party animal, the Pauly Shore of Las Vegas to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Why Pauly Shore?
Because Pauly Shore was like the whistle, you know, and like in Las Vegas, he was like hosting all the events. He knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? He knows the celebs. He knows everybody. He's always around like 15 or 10 girls. You know what I'm saying?
He's like the OG Pauly
He's
Shore.
everything. He's like he's like a networker.
The MTV Pauly Shore.
Yeah, he's like the networker. He's a socialite. He knows everyone. He's cool as fuck. He's a guy's guy. He's you know, girls like hanging out with him. He's a DJ's DJ. He's like
Still talking about Pauly or me?
All right, we got DJ Shift in the building. Shift, what's good?
What up?
Thank you for having me.
Shift, man, what's up, man?
What's going on?
You're busy these days. You're busy.
Finally.
You're doing. You're busy though. You're like building shit, right? You're like
Trying to do other things in case DJing don't work out for me.
Yeah.
You know?
like over the pandemic, like we linked up like afterwards. He's showing me like all this. He's doing like contract work. He's redoing his bathrooms, his kitchen. You're doing it all by hand and shit. Now you're doing like a whole ass garage and a pool yourself.
Yeah, right now I'm in the middle of doing a big garage in the back property and then a new pool. So
It's crazy. Like I was talking with DJ Scooter too. He just built like a guest house on his property.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he did it all from scratch, but he learned all through YouTube. Like he
Crazy.
it's crazy right now. Like he didn't know shit, and he just learned it all through YouTube. It was
YouTube
just all
University.
through YouTube.
I'll stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning looking up stuff on YouTube, and then the next morning wake up and go out there and do it.
So you can really do that.
Yeah, you can look up all the codes and everything. So
That's insane.
Damn, man.
So we did a lot, but you said your pops used to do that shit a lot, right? He had
Yeah.
property, and he actually had a nightclub, right?
yeah, my parents had a nightclub in the early 90s and late 80s in California. So we used to fix everything. Anything that got broke, my dad would be fixing it. So I learned how to fix a lot of things with him.
So you're from Cali, though, right?
Yeah.
What part of Cali?
Like Central Cal, NorCal,
So
Merced, through up to the Bay Area.
so you were there till how old?
Moved to Vegas in 91, so I was about 11 years old.
So, but like you're kind of like a Cali kid, though. You grew up in Cali and shit, right?
Kind of. My mom's family's from California, from Bay Area, and then my dad's family's all from Indiana, so I have a little bit of redneck in me too.
Wait, so were you around the whole nightclub shit and everything? And
Yeah, during the weekends and stuff, my parents would run the nightclubs, and they had their normal day jobs on the weekdays. And whenever everything got Saturday mornings, we'd be at the club fixing everything that got broke on Friday nights.
Oh shit!
So you was like a kid in the club fixing shit around.
Yeah, I was like 8 years old riding. I mean, we were even younger. And my 2 younger brothers, they'd be riding around their
Tricycles?
their tricycles and shit on the dance floor during the daytime and stuff like that. My dad hooked our Nintendo up to they had a screen above the
dance floor?
above the dance floor, and my dad would hook our Nintendo up to it. Man, Mario was like 4 feet tall, be playing that shit. You know, during the daytime.
So this shit is in your blood, then, huh?
Guess so. Yeah, my mom was bartender forever, and I'm a late night person like her too. So
Oh, crazy.
I mean, this is a dumb question. Was you in the clubs when you was like 8 years old? Like,
Like while it was on.
I don't
was
Allegedly.
They can't get in trouble now, but you know, definitely I was behind scenes, man. I'd be behind there, peeking out, seeing what was going on and shit.
Damn.
Would you ever hang out with the DJ like around that time?
The DJs back then, they were on the dance floor area, and they were like, 40-year-old white dudes with hair down their ass. It was all like rock bands and shit like that, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different than what it is now.
This is like the white version of like Menace to Society when he was, when Kane was hanging out. They were giving him beer and shit.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. I was always making drinks behind the bar like Shirley Temples and shit like that.
Wow, so this shit is in your blood, right?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Because I remember, like, I used to, when I first moved out here, I mean, you were always the friendliest dude. Like, you was really
Super
open.
nice guy.
Yeah, like, I remember, like, we just met, and you were like, yo, man, I'm having Thanksgiving, like, come to my crib.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, yo, go to your crib. Like, I don't even know this motherfucker.
Yeah. The first time I met him, he's like, yo, come out to the jet skis. I'm like, all right. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I done spent a couple of Super Bowls at this dude's crib.
Yeah.
Just hanging out and barbecuing, the pool in the back.
But you've always been hosting. Like,
Yeah.
and
That's why I got into DJing, because I just like to entertain.
Yeah.
It's more not for the music for me. It's more for entertaining.
You like to be out. That's what I'm saying. It's like almost like from your parents a
I
little
like
bit.
to, be around in high school. I threw the biggest parties, all the time. And when I became a bartender, I just watched the DJ all the time. I was a bartender back in the clubs here in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
I just watched the DJs and I was like, I want to be that guy.
That's crazy.
I would like flare bartend and blow fire and shit like that for like 50 people. But then the DJ was up there for like 1,000 people, and I was like, I want to be that guy instead. So just saved up some money and taught myself how to DJ. Bought turntables.
You was like Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Yeah, Cocktail.
That's a great movie. I could picture Shift doing that shit too.
I know, right? Yeah.
Wait, so did you like, were your parents always entertaining, like throwing parties at their crib and doing the same thing?
Same thing. We
So
had
you got-
all
so
the
you-
Christmases and Thanksgiving
Yeah, so
at our parents' house.
that just came like naturally to you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. See, my mom's never did that shit.
Somehow you're a good ass host, man.
No one came over.
I mean, growing up in my parents used to throw parties and shit like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, same. My grandparents, we were like the house on the block.
Yet
Like,
you've never invited anyone to your crib for anything.
Yeah.
I'm a different dude, man.
You're a different dude.
But like no, like I think like 4th of July, like
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, like it was always at my crib. We had
Christmas,
the
like
pool.
holidays.
So my grandfather would barbecue, all that shit, man. We'd be in the backyard swimming, listening to reggae music. You know what I mean?
So this shit is in your kind of like, you were raised on this shit. It's like your background, right?
Yeah, it's just always part of life is having everybody come over to our parents' house. So when I got my house and stuff like that, the same thing, open door policy.
You used to have like your parents used to have celebrities come over.
Not really.
I came across like Huey Lewis.
My
Huey
mom
Lewis?
and them used to hang out with Huey Lewis, one of my aunts, and then Fog Hat. Like it was all rock bands back
Fog
then.
Hat,
Yeah.
wow.
I think they're in town right now. I was trying to get my parents tickets to go see them and stuff, have a reunion, because it's been like 30 years since they've seen them.
Damn, imagine Huey Lewis when The Power of Love came out.
I know,
at
right?
Your crib.
I need a new drug.
It was on every movie had its Huey Lewis soundtrack.
Were you hanging with him and shit?
I got to meet him a few times when I was younger, yeah.
Oh shit.
But they were more out hanging out with my parents and my mom and dad and my aunt and uncle.
So then what happened? So then why did your parents move to Vegas?
My dad was in the Air Force, so the base closed. So we almost moved to Spokane, Washington. Then we ended up coming to the base here in Nellis. So
Wow.
thank God. I'd be a grandpa right now if I lived up in Spokane.
Spokane.
Yeah.
Be completely different shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there never would have been shift.
No.
So then you came to Vegas, right? You go to UNLV.
Yeah,
right?
I went for a little bit there. I never finished it out.
Were you going to be like an EMT or something?
I went to EMT school, and then I became
Well, why an EMT?
just like to help. It was cool, and I was looking at maybe getting into firefighting. So it was like one step
Okay,
to
yeah.
get into firefighter. I used to do it out at the track, the motocross track where I used to race at, do it on the side there. And then from there, just was
Well, you was doing motocross in college and high school? And
yeah, I used to race motocross a lot.
shit? Jesus.
So-
it's like another world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to me. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I gotta hang out with more white people.
I know, right?
I don't know.
They do more fun shit.
I mean, they did live.
I don't know any brothers that do.
Gotta get you some white friends.
I mean, if they did, it was illegal. Like it was in the block, right?
Yeah, it's on the
right.
block. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking
No driver
racing.
license.
And then the cops came, and then they just
And then
like ran
everybody
away.
scattered
Yeah.
away.
That's a different world.
Yeah,
for us. Damn. So you was doing motocross and shit?
Yeah, I was doing that, and then Kerry Hart and me were busboys over to Luxor, and then he
Oh shit.
he started. I was racing, he was doing jumping, and I just kind of knew it wasn't going to go any further than that, So,
Did you hurt yourself ever? Or not?
yeah, you'd always break bones or get knocked
Wait,
unconscious.
so
and stuff.
do you still do that shit or no?
I still ride every once in a while. I got a couple bikes and quads and stuff like that just for fun, but not like I used to. I went out about probably 12 or 13 years ago to the track here in Vegas and tried to rip around the little kids and damn near killed myself. I had to pull off to the side for a second,
Catch my breath.
rethink my life.
Yo, when you're telling me this, I keep thinking of those movies with like Big, when like the two personalities switch bodies.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I switch personalities and I went into your life and you
Freaky
went into
Friday
mine,
over here.
I wouldn't know what to do. Like,
I can go quit inviting people to my house and stuff.
they were like, yo, Shift turned into an asshole.
Don't bring nobody over no more.
Shift ain't doing none of this shit. He sold all his bikes. He sold all his quads. That's crazy. Yeah. So then you start bar backing, right?
Yeah.
Or busing.
Yeah, bar backing.
And then you bartend.
Yep. And then I just like I said though, I was always watching the DJs. I was over at like Rum Jungle and stuff, watching Michael Toast and Jason Lima and those guys in the old days. And I was like, man, I want to be that guy. Instead of just having my little, entertaining, I was doing the flipping the bottles and shit like that,
So
Instead of just doing that, I was like, I want to be that guy up there.
You was bartending at Rum Jungle?
Yeah, I was over at I did this other emergency room we started. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Yeah,
I remember.
We did Monday nights there.
Wait, what is
Green
that?
Mountain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
There was a thing we did, Hollywood
Emergency
and David Christian. We started an event there. We took over. It's called the Emergency.
Hollywood.
Is it on Wednesday?
It's a
It was
restaurant.
Mondays.
Mondays. Yeah.
It's a restaurant now, right?
I think it is.
Hollywood.
now.
I haven't heard David Christian's name in a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I first moved here, I actually went to that spot.
Yeah.
And I think I saw you, and I might have seen Karma there.
Yep. Karma was there.
Yeah.
Casanova.
Casanova.
Well, that's where all the kids like
Oh,
the
I forgot about
Jabberwockies and all them and Vegas dance crew. They all started dancing there. So they'd come in at midnight. We set up turntables. It was a Pioneer 500 and 2 Techniques. And then we'd set it up, and I would bartend behind the bar. We took over the whole bar for that night. I'd be bartending all night long, and then DJs would do 30-minute sets, and it was all just whoever. And somebody played break beats, somebody would play, house, somebody would play hip hop, and it was all different 30-minute sets. And the breakers would all have break battles in the middle of the dance floor. And at the end of the night, the turntables were up there, and I was like, I always tried them out. I'd go up there, and I had no clue. I didn't want nobody to know I was learning how to DJ. Mm-hmm. So I used to go to Hollywood's house and steal records from his house because he used CDJs, but the records still sent all the boxes of records to his house.
So he didn't need the record,
The vinyl.
The vinyl.
Yeah, he didn't need the vinyl, and it was all in his pantry. So I'd take a couple records every week, and then I'd take them to work with me. I got an old bag from David Christian, bring my records in. I got needles from Q. I think Q gave me my first set of needles.
Wow.
And then at sometimes around 6 a.m. there'd be no more DJs, and we just turn a jukebox on. But I started DJing then. I'd go up there, and I had no clue, man. Looking at a Pioneer 500, like, what the fuck is this? All the buttons. I didn't want nobody to teach me because I didn't want them to know I was learning. And I just look at it, and there was no Google or YouTube back then. This
Right,
is
of
like
course.
2002, 2003. There was none of that shit around. You couldn't just type your iPhone. There was no iPhone.
But you had to know somebody, right?
Yeah, you had to be friends with people.
Or you
So-
had to be just really smart
yeah.
and figure the shit
so
out.
I would go up there and I'm like, what the hell is Q? All right, oh shit, that makes it work here. And then turn it and the faders and everything. And I learned it after a while, and it was terrible. I didn't know, I had no music background. So I was like trying to mix Next Episode and Sandstorm together. I had no clue. trying to, what the fuck, why don't they go together, And then I started mixing and learning, BPMs and how and where to mix at, on the hook.
So
and
what is this, a
everything else.
span of like 2 months or 6 months or
Yeah,
what
a
is
couple
it?
months or so.
A few months.
Then I remember this.
So what-
the other
what-
2 bartenders were like, "Yo, don't
do it?
Don't do it, man." They like, let's put the jukebox on. And then after 2 months, I mixed. I can't remember what it was. I think it's Next Episode and In the Club 50 Cent or something, and it went perfect together. And the one bartender, he was a big white guy, loud as shit, man, always yelling. You could hear him, and he yelled across the whole thing. It was like, "Yo, that was dope," and I was like, I was hooked then, and then just went from there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So your fascination with DJing was what do you think?
It was just the entertaining.
the entertainment,
Yeah, the control.
the control.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The instant feedback.
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of people why did you get into DJing? What's your thing?
It was part of my life. Like, I grew up in a project, and they used to have the DJs come in the park play. My mom used to run the community center.
Yeah.
And she used to have to she was in charge of the parties, the block parties that we used to have in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I've always been around DJs, so it was just natural for me to pick it up and do it.
Well, what was it? The music? What was it? The control?
It was the music.
It was the music.
Yeah. And I always had music in my house all the time, 24/7.
What about you?
I think it was maybe just wanting to make people happy. Mm-hmm. And my form of doing that is to make them dance. So I fell in love with the idea of I can help someone have a good night.
It's kind of like control, though, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But I have an antisocial side of me, so I don't
Yeah.
really like talking. So it's like I'm actually contributing without really talking to you.
For
Does that
sure.
make sense?
I feel like a lot of it is control.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you want to be a part. Because I think when I would go into the club, I wasn't like I wasn't like the dancer, and then I wasn't the dude like picking up chicks who outspoken. But I wanted to be there and I wanted to enjoy the music.
Have a presence, right?
But I wanted to be like a part of it and involved. And then the DJing was just fascinating, right? Because you kind of control the whole room.
Yeah, for sure.
So then it always goes down to kind of control. Is that the same with you, or what is it?
Oh, I wanted to be famous, man. Music.
You got it now.
Music. It was music for the most part, but then when I learned how the DJ can control the night and just the instant gratification of a crowd like roaring because of a good song, that was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's when you get addicted.
Well,
to it.
let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Is it the control or is it the attention?
I don't.
What do you think?
Not for me. It's not the intention.
I know. Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not good.
I think
to take attention.
I think for initially it was the control, but then I started to really enjoy the attention.
Right.
Once I realized how much it gets, you know what I mean? Like what the attention can get.
Look at
I
his
was like,
face.
oh shit.
Look at your face, bro. Look at his
Yeah,
face.
he's like the attention.
Yeah, like this villain smile. Yeah.
They didn't know.
But then I started getting the attention.
Attention.
And I said, oh, I like this.
Give me more.
What about you, Shiv?
I mean, I had no music background at all in that. When I moved to Vegas, I listened to country and rock. I grew up on like punk rock and skateboarding and shit like that, motocross. So I didn't even listen to hip hop until like '94. So,
shit.
And I learned, you know, when I became a DJ, I actually learned a lot more hip hop because I don't only listen to certain stuff. So it wasn't the music for me it was more just like I said, entertaining. That's why I love to cook for people or have people over the house. It's all about entertaining for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's that's kind of cool.
I think it's dope that you like kind of admit you're like, yo, it's the entertaining part.
the hosting.
Of it.
Oh, I tell people I have no music background and I didn't even really listen to any of the music I play. Most of the music I play, I don't listen to at all.
But I think there's a lot of DJs like you
Yeah.
who are part of the social, who love the social and entertainment aspect.
Yeah, for sure.
But they would never admit that.
Yeah,
Because
some people think
you know?
it's like I'm not as real or something like that. You know?
No.
But I'd rather be real and by being real.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's true but they'll lie, right? They'll say like, "Oh, I love the music and all of this shit." But I think it's important to have that entertainment and to be like a great host.
Sometimes I feel like that's where my longevities came from is from that actually. 'Cause I know a lot of guys who are about the music that are no longer they're no longer doing big main clubs and stuff like that because they were all about just the music of what they liked, you know, and not for the crowds. I think maybe I've had longevity because of the fact that I play stuff that I don't care. I play for the crowd every night instead of playing what I like. You know?
Right.
If I play what I like, there would be like 2 people in there.
But it's good because you have this like detachment from the music, so you're not feeling like you're betraying some type of creative
For sure.
authenticity.
Keeping it too real.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you're just kind of like, I'm here to please the people. I'm here to entertain my friends and some people. So you're one of the few DJs that I know, like people fly in to hang out with you. Like they'll fly into Vegas.
Yeah.
And they'll get a table. And of course, club owners love that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
They love it when you like DJ and you bring in a couple tables.
Yeah.
And those tables bring in
That
like,
definitely helps
you know?
you out a lot with getting booked with, especially if you don't have, you know, if you're not a Red Bull champ or you don't have this song or whatever you are, you know, if you're just a normal resident DJ, then that sets you aside. That's where you get more shows and stuff at for sure. You got to make sure you're worth your worth, you know, or what you're asking for. So a lot of people ask for shit, then they're not worth it. They don't bring what they're asking for. And if I was gonna book them, I wouldn't book them because of that reason. So
how long you been DJing like for in the clubs? I want to go back to after that first mix from in the club into the next episode, and then what happened after that.
That was like 03. So
03.
Almost 20 years now.
Oh, 20
Shit.
years.
And I still feel like I'm like a newbie, I guess, man. For real.
But 20 years you've been perfecting, you know, your craft, but also just building contacts and all of this stuff.
Yeah, it's not just about DJing. To be honest with you, I don't really practice ever at home. I don't touch my turntables at home.
I mean, I think a lot of us don't practice.
Yeah, I don't. I just hear songs and throw it in the set where I think it's gonna work and wing it on the fly. I mean, but my shit's covered in dust at home right now.
So wait, I want to know, like, when you navigate to the club, what is when you're setting up? Like, I don't know, like, you know, you're gonna DJ that night. What is your day like? You go through some music, and people are people hitting you up? How are you organizing a guest list?
Mine's like that. It's more shit like that. As soon as I land in a city, I just want to go to my hotel room and chill for a minute and like, you know, decompress from the last 2 shows or whatever to give my eardrums a break. But everybody's like, yo, we're going to this dinner, we're going here. I got a car picking us up. We're going to the strip club here, this and everything. They're trying to line it up. Especially like if you play out of town like once every 3 months, those people come see you. A lot of times they don't go see a lot of their DJs. You become friends with them, so they'll take that night off. You know, they're ready. You know, they want to party that night. They're getting fucked up. They got a babysitter. They got an Uber. They got everything, and they don't realize that I just did 4 shows in a row in 2 days.
Right.
You know, and I need to have my moment to reset. And they're all excited. They want to party all night long. And the next morning, I had to be in Vegas in the pool. Next night after that, I'm in another city. And it's back to back to back to back. And some of them just don't realize that. And you feel bad. You know, you don't want to hurt their feelings, but they come out. That's their one time to come out in that 3 months. So they're ready to 110% it, you know.
So how do you juggle that shit?
It's tough, you know.
Because are you still going as hard as you did 20 years ago? Or
I just had to like tell one of my boys' girl off, man, the other night. I was at the Fountain Blue in Miami. I landed there, just did 2 shows in Vegas for EDC with Cascade and Martin Garrix and stuff.
Nice.
Landed there, and I was doing 50 that night. I was playing with 50 Saturday night.
You got a history with 50
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
You have very.
Me and him got into it.
It
Yeah.
went viral.
Yeah, we got into it one night, man. I almost pulled his leg off. He stepped.
Let's set this up.
Yeah, set this up. I don't know.
What city were you in? But because
By the way,
first time?
I love the fact that his first real cool mix was in the club.
Yeah.
Just a full circle.
So wait, this is what I saw. I remember the video. The video went viral.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where you're DJing for him. He's performing.
Yep.
But he's standing on top of the
He's
turntable,
standing next to the turntables,
next to
walking
the
back and
turntable.
forth. They didn't really have a stage there. That was an old Sutra.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
Sutra, and I think every time I played at that place, the DJ booth was in a new location. I don't think they change that shit every week, man.
So then he's performing.
So he came in first to set it up because what you see online,
Yeah.
it actually kind of seems cooler. But we talked over the songs. Me and him came. He would look at my laptop. He said, "I'm gonna do this. Then he's gonna go on like 30 minutes. So then this lady comes up and says, "Hey, he wants to change it. Do this." I'm like, "Okay." So in my head, I get it ready. I change it. Another guy comes up. "Hey, I'm 50's manager." I'm 50's manager. Change this, change this. So we were going through 3 or 4. Then like the next song, he didn't want that one. He looked at me and was like what the fuck, and came over and stepped on the turntable because he didn't want me to play that one. And I'm like going like, what I do? I almost grabbed his leg just to pull it off, just to be, you know, he probably would have beat my ass after. Not now. He's a little chubbier now, but before he probably would have beat my ass.
What year was this? Like
Oh God, I don't know how long ago.
over
that was.
2010, like 2000.
What song
This
was
is
hot?
like
No, this is probably like
2016.
it's probably maybe like about 8 years ago or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. But yeah, we haven't. So that's all it was. But it went all viral.
Yeah, it went viral because he stepped on a turntable.
Well, because he said like boo the DJ because like I played a couple songs that he didn't want in a row, and he's like, "Why are you changing it up?" But he came down. The funny part is right after he came down, we went over some more songs. We went back on for about probably 30, 40 minutes. We went through a bunch of stuff. He came back up and picked some rock songs and stuff too. He went through all different things, and it was a really great night. But everybody saw that one little clip.
Yeah, of course.
Of him stepping on there and us getting into it, you know.
Yeah.
So then
Thanks, D.
we just went back, you know, this weekend again. We reunited at 11.
After 8 years.
Did he
You guys talk
remember?
about it? Yeah.
So
Nah,
when he
we didn't talk about
when
it.
he stepped on it, like, was it cool or what was it like afterwards? He's like, why the fuck did you play?
No, because that was like the third song that he did not want, you know, or not in that order, you know. He had something else. But I kept telling, I probably had 4 people that night tell me they were 50's manager and be like, change it up, do this. So now I learned this time there's this guy Star. So I talked to him beforehand. I go, look, man, you tell me what it is. I want you to actually send me a text and an email. So I got it on paper.
Yeah.
So that this is legit. This is what you fucking told me, you know. So I did that. And then I was at the Fountain Blue working on it, getting them all ready and shit like that. And you know, getting cue points and stuff. And my friend's wife was there and she was like wanting us to go hang out and drink and stuff. And she like tried to push my laptop down. I go, what the fuck is wrong? I just looked at her.
Yeah.
I go, you're being a fucking bitch. Because she was poking at me, and I was on my headphones in the middle of Fountain Blue, and they're there, and she's like sitting there waiting, and I was like, yo, dude, and I told him, I was like, look, I don't want to hang out with your wife ever again, man, and she's not invited back to any more parties, because I gotta get myself ready. I go, I'm sorry, I'm not entertaining you right now, but I have to get this ready for tonight. It's, you know, it's 1 a.m., we're going on in 2 hours. They just sent me over the list right now. I gotta get this shit ready, and she's like, wanting to party and drink and do shots. I'm like, yo, dude, I gotta at the end of the day, the shows are more important, you know. Mm-hmm. So you do have to take that serious, especially with the entertainers.
Did 50 remember you?
I don't know. We didn't get to talk beforehand on this one. He came in, was in front of me, and I was playing for about 1 hour. You know, I was just dropping some songs for him because waiting for him to go on. Then he finally went up, and I did every song for him, and it was smooth though, no problems.
He's always been really cool, but I thought that video was funny, man. Because
Oh, yeah.
it was like it just ended, right? Like it was just like literally like I don't know how long, maybe 15 seconds.
Yeah.
The video was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it looked like y'all were like about to brawl.
Yeah, it looked. I thought we were for a second too.
What was it?
You know, like I
it was
said.
I Get Money. You were playing I Get Money on that one.
I think so.
I Get Money remix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was we were
didn't wanna
changing
hear
things up. Yeah, no, I was like at JD, I think, on there. But it was just different versions, and they said we went back on for 45 minutes after that. It was all fine, but it looked cooler online than what it was.
It's funny when that video came out. There was like a bunch of other videos of DJs just getting like kind of fucked with by performers.
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Because there was like the Travis Scott one.
Yeah.
Remember
I had
when-
so many DJs hit me up and tell me their stories. Like they're like, "Yo, dude, I had this happen with this guy and this guy. It just that happened to be everybody's cell phones were out or whatever. But I said it was fun. It actually I liked it.
I think when I was with 50, it was at Dre's and I was DJing for him, and I was like, "What's the set list?" And I think he was just like, "Play whatever you want."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So like I remember we was going and like I was just doing quick mixes. So like I was doing like a verse, a chorus, and then I just switched it up. And he was just flowing with the shit, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And then I think I dropped because I think what's his show, Power?
Yeah.
Power. So like it just started like really blowing up. So I downloaded that song and I'm like, yo, he's gonna perform that.
It's a very
Because-
rich
Big town.
but
Yeah.
it was like right at the start of it bubbling.
Yeah.
So like people kind of recognized it, but when I dropped it, he looked at me like I was crazy
What?
because he was like, "Yo, like I'm not performing. Like people don't know this shit." Like,
Yeah.
But then everyone started cheering, and he was like shocked.
He was like, "Oh shit."
And then he performed it, and then like I think we kept going, and I saw him kind of like winding down, and I think I played Window Shopper. And I think this is right around the time when he announced he was going bankrupt or some shit.
Oh man.
So he kind of looked at me, he's like, "Nah," and then he just like stopped performing.
We did both of them this weekend.
You did?
We did both those, Window Shopper and
did?
and Big Town this weekend.
Because it was like right when he was like he's declaring bankruptcy or some shit just like to get out of a lawsuit. I don't know what the hell was going on at the time.
Yeah.
And he went back. He's like, "Man, I never performed that Power shit."
So you might have been the spark.
Yeah, you started it. You
And
started
he
it.
was like, "Man, I never performed that Power
Now I had to
shit."
download that shit because of you now.
he
Thanks a lot.
he performs that everywhere now.
You owe me
That's
a-
like one of his biggest records.
You owe me $1.29.
No, I mean, but the song is way bigger now.
That's
But-
his last big record.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, the song's way big, but back then it was kind of like I was just like, "Fuck it, let me see what happens."
Yeah.
Shit
But it was
worked.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was cool, man. He was super cool.
We did 12 songs, but there was like, it was just the intro, verse, hook, out. And you
Yeah.
could tell by the end, he was like winded.
Yeah, you could tell.
he
You
was
could
winded,
tell-
man. You could tell he was like tired.
He even looked at me when
Just
I
did
kept
16 minutes.
When I
It was-
kept dropping bangers. He kind of looked at me like, "Yo, man."
I didn't even know how to
Slow down, DJ.
I need
Come
some
on,
vitamin
man.
water.
Yeah, just when he was a little heavier too. He was just like, "Yo, like you."
He stopped taking the shirt off at this point.
He just looked at me and by window shop, he's like, "Yo, I'm done. It's too much."
Easy.
That's funny, man. Did that affect anything with you when it happened, or was it you had to feel like it's frustrating, right? Because no one knows the full story.
Oh yeah, but a couple of people reached out to me that had their own stories and stuff. But then I just
Yeah.
explained to them what happened. They're like, yeah, but it was like I said, there's no bad press, so it was awesome when it went around. Like I was getting people, and everybody understood. I said that's why I don't think he doesn't have a DJ on purpose because he's like kind of neurotic. He changes shit all the time and likes to fuck with DJs. He likes to do that stuff. So that's why he doesn't have a tour DJ with him that knows the set and does it every night.
I feel like people are so fucking. They always blame the DJ, right?
It's a good scapegoat.
Easy scapegoat.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's like whenever I remember like talking with homies, like we would even have conversations. Like you never want to be the DJ for a grand opening of a club.
No. Nope.
It's like-
that's like it's like a curse.
It's a curse.
It's the construction curse for me, man. Every time I do a grand opening, I'm like, I don't even want to do this because they won't open on time. And then they'll be like, oh, let's push it back 1 week or two. But I'm booked out 3 months in advance. I can't
Right.
I can't just go 2 weeks later. So I miss those shows all the time. Like, oh, we'll get you back. What, by paying me double? Because I'm out this Saturday night now,
Yeah.
So I don't ever do grand openings anymore, hardly. And this is what happened we were talking about earlier with Greenlight Social. I was supposed to do my birthday there, had to move it over to Austin last minute. And I think almost every club opening right now has been, pushed back months.
Yeah.
So I don't do anything right now. Anybody tells me grand opening, I'm like, no, grand closing.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I remember I had a November, December date, and it got pushed to like February or whatever the fuck because
Yeah.
construction wasn't ready.
Yep.
No, but I'm talking about like Vegas clubs. Like some
Grand openings, yeah, in Vegas, they
grand
usually happen on
openings-
time, but
but it's like they're figuring shit out. So if something's not right,
oh yeah,
they change the DJ.
Yeah, and they blame the DJ.
They blame the DJ. So if
and you
like,
won't go back.
Yeah, it could be promotions, it could be marketing, it could be like all kinds of shit that's wrong. But if like the vibe isn't right or something's like
That's the
there's all
easiest thing to point the finger
Yeah, they
at.
like just
That
change
happened
the
with
DJs.
Obi One, didn't it? Over at Excess when they first opened. I remember he was playing there and he played like Bring 'Em Out, and they like freaked out and got pissed off.
I heard about
Are you
that.
serious?
Yeah, they got so mad at him for that. Then I played like a week after, and they were like, "We want all house music and nothing over a year old." That was my set, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And Dave Fogg was there, Create was there, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what they want. That's what Victor wants. He wants all house and nothing over a year old." And I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna do for like 2 hours? You know, like you give me that." And I remember, like even like I did about almost 2 hours, and then Dave came back and was like, "I'm gonna play some songs." That's cool, and he's like, "Here's your W9 shit." And I was like, "Fuck you guys, I don't want it." So I said, "I don't want the money." I pushed it back. I said, "I'm not feeling nothing out. I'm out of here." Dipped out. Never played there again for like 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. I just told him, "Keep your money. I don't care. This is such a stupid idea." Like telling a DJ to play, you know, all 128 at this club, you know, one at house and then nothing over a year old. So like even like, you know, good tracks that were over a year old, no, don't play it. They were like freaking out. And Jesse and Cy both had hit me up that night, and like all of them reached out to me, but it would happen because of playing like Bring 'Em Out or something. But he played when it was first opened, and like you said, got nixed.
It's interesting though. Like I remember when that happened and that was hitting Las Vegas and everyone was talking about it. But in the end, it's kind of like they wanted to like generate a new sound, and they actually ended up doing it. You know?
Yeah, they did for sure.
Yeah. So I kind of understand what they're saying, but there was a time when everywhere sounded the same though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it kind of, you needed some like type of
Just David Guetta everywhere. For a minute there.
But
and him
everyone
and
was
whoever-
playing like Be Faithful and like Bring 'Em
like
Out
that, yeah, yeah.
everywhere. Like
DMX.
it was just like everywhere everyone was doing the same.
all the
thing.
bucco breaks, all
Yeah.
Vices.
When you ended up going back, was that something that had to be addressed, or you just kind of just like let it
No,
go?
it just by that time it was back to like Jesse brought me back in, and it was good open format. The same stuff I'd play like at Wet Republic and Omni or wherever else. You know, by that time it had, you know, he had Vice come back there a couple times and play some open format sets, and everything was like fine then. You know,
Yeah.
just let us go what we wanted to. But for a while when Victor was involved, it was definitely he said, you know, I want this idea, and it didn't work out very good. You know,
Yeah.
So you've been through like, I mean, you've been through like, when I moved here in 2005. Never, you moved here 2003.
2003, yeah.
So you started DJing around 2003.
yeah, right around when you guys were coming.
So when we were coming in
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you kind of saw like
I remember playing with you over at. I'd always find your keys off your laptop. You would play over at.
Holy shit.
you would play at Taboo.
Cocaine.
You would play. Yeah, about 8 keys left on your laptop. That's about all you had left. Q, Z. That's probably all the ones you had left. I'd always find in the DJ booth there at Taboo. I'd find the keys off his MacBook.
So he's talking about the keys off the keyboard. Because
Yeah.
I was
The cue points.
I was
Just
hitting
hitting
the
it so
cue
hard,
points.
pop, flying off like popcorn and shit.
Eight is missing.
I was like, so
The
yeah,
6 and the 1 are missing.
I'd hit 6 and the 1 always
Always.
used to break, and then the air horn, which is like Z, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Z would always break.
Dude, I'm looking at this laptop right now. 1 and 3 and Z are all fucked up.
Damn, you still do that, man?
They're cracked. They're
There's-
cracked.
Yeah, they're
Go
cracked
through
in
like
the
one
middle.
laptop a year and put his finger all the way through to the DJ booth.
I used to I used to buy like the keys.
Just,
like-
just to have backup.
Yeah, so I break them and I put it back on.
I got the keys.
You're the real talent.
Yeah.
It's true though. I mean, sometimes they would like, you know, when there's no key, it's just like this white
That little nub.
sponge.
That little white nub.
It's like a nipple.
The little nib.
It's a generic one. It has no. It's like it just fits on. It don't have a number or letter or nothing on it. It's
So
just
like
a
I'm just like rubbing the nipple every time I'm hitting the cue. And shit. It's like real weird. Yeah, I don't do that. I try not to do that anymore.
Do you still break crossfaders?
No, I used to. I was crazy
Aggressive.
back in the day. I used to.
Anger problems over here.
yeah, got an insurance on them, man.
No, sound guys used to hate it. I used to break. But you got to admit though,
Breaking
I feel
records and breaking laptops.
I feel like they make shit better now. Like
Yeah.
it's a little sturdier.
They
Back
should
then-
hire you to test them.
You're the only person I know that.
They're gonna hire a cooker to test them.
I mean, we got the new MacBook Pro.
That's not true. That's not fair, man. No, because fam, the way they used to make shit was like really flimsy. Like the fucking fader tops would always fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
To put like a little piece of napkin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
napkin.
come on, man.
Yeah, we used the Starburst. We used to put a
Yeah,
Starburst
yeah.
on there, stick it on there, and use it.
They make shit way better now. Come on, man.
No, they do.
And I would never break like a rain, but then they would have
You
these
did break a rain. What you talking
Well, you
about?
broke
no
a
like an
rain?
OG rain, an OG rain,
Like a 56? No
like
way.
the two panel
57.
one, the two panel one with the knobs.
Oh, the
You know what I'm
rotary?
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah.
The rotaries, yeah, I remember the rotaries.
Those, I mean, honestly, that was the best sounding mixer I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
The best sounding mixer.
I never actually played on one.
It never like you couldn't go too loud. You never heard it distort.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful fucking mixer.
Yeah.
But I never broke those. But I would like the fucking when they had like 56, like a 56 or a 57 in the club. Those were the worst. The range.
You've broken a Pioneer before.
For sure.
I mean, 900.
Yeah.
The early ones are kind of flimsy. The early ones are flimsy, man. But the ones that are now, like they're a little, they're
Crooked proof.
They're
Proof, yeah.
You're not as strong as you was back then. You don't have that strength.
That worked out, bro.
They should be hurting me. I'd be like, oh my god.
They make them so hard these days.
Band-Aids.
All right. Anyway, enough about that. Yeah. So we used to spin at Taboo, and
The rock. I used to do the rock box.
the Rock Box.
Yeah.
And even Rock-the-Con used to come out for that.
Yeah, I used to come up for that.
Yeah.
Man, I had a funny story about him. I remember we were playing, and some guy wanted him to play 50 Cent in the club. I think we were paying Rock-the-Con like $1,000 to come out, and back then. And he'd come out, and the guy was like $100 for in the club, and I was next to him, and I was like, oh shit, he'll play that for sure for $100, I give it to him. He's like, nah, man. I'm like, what the hell? $100 for in the club is one of the best songs out right now. They're going to still to this day. And this is what 17 years ago, 15 years ago, 16 years ago. And then guy came back with like 300 for it, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll tell him now, and he'll probably take it. And he's like, nah, 300. I was like, damn, man. I mean, that's a 30-year night wait. But I had a lot of respect for him for doing that.
Shit.
I went on. I kept the $300. Went on and played it later, but still.
The commission.
Oh man. So like when I moved out here, you had just started DJing, you started getting into the scene a little bit more. And how did you link up with Z? Because I knew Z from Light Group. She was handling all the house acts and all the house events for Light Group at that time, right?
A jet.
Z from Angel Music Group. She's like the queen of house.
The queen of
She
house.
is the queen.
You guys
That's
are like,
how- that's how I
and
know.
I remember moving out here, and you guys just have like the same birthday party.
Hers was like 2 weeks after mine, so we kind of do a joint
But it was
party.
it was a big thing to the
Yeah.
point where
Yeah.
I
They were big
remember-
parties for sure.
Yeah, like when I moved out here, I'm like, what is this shift? Why is everyone talking about this shift in Z birthday party? It was
Yeah,
like
we
a
did it
big
for like
thing.
10 years.
It's crazy.
We'd bring big DJs that didn't even want to play in America from Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was a house DJ. All house when I first started. I played some records like I said, when I was learning, I was playing some hip hop records that I knew, but when I became actual DJing at the time, like rehab parties and stuff like that, I did all house. And she likes house, the queen of house. So she would give me
did you like house or did you?
Yeah, I like the energy, the build up and stuff of it. At the time,
It was also like maybe when first starting, it's like easier to mix. It's like, or that didn't really matter.
no, it didn't really matter to me on that one. It's just the fact that the build up. Like I said, the energy. That it's almost narcissistic. I like when people sing along and the build up of it. I've always said for hip hop, like the best part of the song is that the songs that have a really good beat. As soon as you drop it, that's going to be your best reaction of that song for the whole song. They hear that, the kick and the drum. They're like, everybody's like hands up real quick, and then they just start dancing with the girl. Where house,
unless there's like a stellar line.
yeah, unless there's a line that everybody knows or something like that.
Right.
But if other than that, hip hop, normally that first beat is when you get the reaction for hip hop.
Right.
But house, you come in, you get the vocals, they sing, the build up, and it's kind of like dancing for 101 dancing for dummies or something, because it builds up. They don't even have to think about it. It just helps them progress up, put their hands up, and it drops. They go crazy, and then you do it 2 or 3 times, or once every song if you're cutting it as a DJ. But the build up and the energy is what I liked about it.
I wonder if it's an interesting take on that. I wonder if that's why house is so universal, because you don't have to really know how to dance.
And I think
It tells you what to do basically without.
And I never
telling
really
you.
thought about that until I said it. Like the progression is natural for you, so you kind of know when to go crazy based off of that build up, right?
Yeah.
And it helps you, like it walks you through it almost.
Whereas, like, if you're like, if you don't know shit and you're hearing a hip hop song, you're gonna do your best like hip hop impression, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like this is hip hop and this is how you dance to hip hop.
That one.
Whereas, or like
easier to
house,
do this.
yeah. Where house you can like it just builds up and then you can just wild the
And it's
fuck
constant
out.
in
Like you said, it takes you right through the whole drop.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting take. All right, so you were doing rehab and you linked up with Z there?
No, I was just doing events. She would have me do some of her house events. So I'd open up for guys like when she first started bringing around Deep Dish and those guys like that.
Oh,
and,
Deep Dish, wow.
There was Fetty Legrand, Tiesto, and all those guys. I used to open up for them. So,
They were killing it for Legrand.
oh yeah,
Killing it back
Put your
then.
hands up for every city in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
The
city had their
remixes.
own tag.
Yep.
Put your hands
It's
up
up
for
for
Las
Detroit.
Vegas.
For Detroit. It was for Detroit,
for
right?
Yeah, that was the
Then it
original.
went, and then it became for New York, for Miami, for
Las
Los
Vegas.
Angeles.
Everything. Yeah. Henderson got one in there.
So wait, for some reason, was Z from ICE too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played over
For
there.
some reason, I thought you linked up from ICE with her.
Yeah, I was over there doing some events and stuff. We
did?
were all working for Neil Moffat over there.
Okay. So I have some questions about ICE.
Okay.
When did ICE open? I don't even know.
2000.
Because it was the drink before.
2004.
It used to be the drink, which was a big club in the late 90s.
Oh, and
I heard about that club, but
the funny thing is, if you go, it's still there.
Yeah, like
It's
like a ghost town.
It's like
Crazy.
nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's
whenever
like,
I drive
like
by
eerie.
it, I'm like, why is this building still standing?
It's still
Where's it
there
at?
with the sign.
It's like eerie.
It's right next to Top
It's,
Golf.
yeah, right across. It's diagonal from
Between
Top
that
Golf.
and Hard Rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's gated up, but it's literally the last time it was open was I think All Star Weekend NBA 2007.
Yeah, it was
Was the last time it was open. So it's literally been 15 years.
There's like a crazy. Have they ever done a documentary on that?
Well, no, but they did have a reality show.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, they did that.
with Ryan Clausen.
And the chick from LA,
Derek was on there,
working there
Corey
at ICE.
Negrelli.
She was from New York. The promoter. You know her.
Yeah, Josh D was on it.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, Josh D and Z and
Yeah.
Mike Snedeker were all there.
Oh man.
Yeah, Mike Snedeker, Z. She's in LA.
She's from New York. Allison
Melnick?
Melnick. Yes, she was working there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought she was like kind of like a cool like hip hop.
Yeah, she used
LA
to bring
promoter.
but she used to bring AM and Mark Ronson.
Oh, but she's originally from New
New
York.
York. Yeah, she used to work.
I didn't know that.
She used to work with me at Jet 19.
Oh,
She used
shit,
to be the
really?
host. Yeah.
Oh shit,
Crazy.
So then she ended up in LA.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I did a show there with AM once. It was but as a buyout for like LG for their electronics and stuff.
During like CES maybe.
Yeah, it was
At
something like
ICE?
that. Yeah.
At ICE?
They brought in semi trucks full of like all the furniture and stuff. They had who was the band? Like Counting Crows or something like that. And
Counting
AM and me.
Crows?
Yeah, it was a weird. It was me, then AM, then the
The band.
yeah.
Wait. So when did ICE open?
I would say like 2004.
I think,
2004?
yeah, right around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you first got
Really?
it. Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it opened. Wait. When I moved to Vegas, it seemed like it was done. It was.
It only lasted a year, right? A year,
No,
maybe
so
2
it
years.
probably was there at least 2003, I think, and then it went to like 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Really?
But it kind of like died down after the first
I think
2
as
years.
soon as like Tao opened and then Pure came along, it was just like
Because I moved here
you
at
know
the
what I mean?
end of 2005, and at that point, the biggest club was like
Tao opened in October.
Trist, right?
Trist.
That
Pure.
just opened.
Yep.
Pure.
Yeah.
And you still had Rain.
You still had Body English was then
Yeah,
Body English was like
Sundays.
the Sunday
Sunday school.
untouchable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you had Light, right? Obviously,
And
then
Jet had just
Jet
opened
was
up.
Jet just did the
about to
Mondays.
open.
Yeah.
And then ICE was. I was like, what is this ICE thing? And it felt like when I moved out here that ICE was like already 5 years old, but it was.
It
was
felt
too-
like it, but it had died down by then.
wow.
The hype.
But it was kind of like
It was all real house DJs there too.
Yeah.
You was like getting like Armin van Buren stuff and like
Exactly.
Christopher Lawrence and
And it was weird because it was like during this time, well, I can only speak for the Light group. It was like all they wanted was hip hop and rock. So like even when I played, I remember my tryout, I played some house. I was playing like Bob Sinclair. and
Well, hold on, yeah.
And then they were like, and like Love Generate, they were like, and I played like, Daft Punk and shit. They were like running to the booth like, yo, why are you playing house? like only rock and hip hop. But then the crowd was going crazy, so they just let it go.
Uh-huh.
But I remember it was like house was like in the side room because when they opened Jet, it was like Z was promoting for like this small side room, and it was like house, and it was like I remember back then like Cascade was in the side room.
she had big DJs in there.
Tiesto was back there.
Yeah, she had these big ass DJs
Playing
who were
in that
doing
little
like,
room.
these arenas. I'm in the main room, and then Tiesto's in the side room
That's crazy.
doing house.
I think that was a Sean Christie move. I think Sean Christie was trying to change it over from that, you know.
But
a lot of spots is like that though.
It was because it was like house was just changing. It was like it was maybe like at that time Paul Oakenfold was the biggest DJ, right? At the time.
Yeah, I remember in Miami I was doing what's the conference?
The Winter Music.
I was doing Winter Music. Like Light Group they did a party out there, and they did that Mint, and I was doing a big room, and Peter Tong was doing a small room, and he got pissed at me. He was like, "Yo, why is this guy DJ in the big room, and they got me in the small ass room?"
And you're playing like Bring 'Em Out or something.
They're playing Biggie, Bring 'Em Out, playing Hypnotize, Junior Mafia.
That was a weird time. When I look
yeah.
back, when I think about it, it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
So then, wait, all right. So then Ice. So you were DJing like just one-offs in Ice and stuff like that. And then but you knew Z from rehab and everything.
Just like I said, we just became friends. We'd go around to Winter Music Conference. We would always hang out there and stuff like that. And I'd play some of the parties for her. You know, she could put me on before Swedish House Mafia guys. That she was booking them way before all that stuff. You know,
You guys must have some great stories.
That's a whole nother podcast.
I know. Like I gotta have both of y'all on together.
I know, right? Yeah.
I gotta have her on, and then I gotta have both of y'all on together.
Yeah,
maybe like a birthday edition for y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
do that. There we go.
So then, I remember you guys had the big birthdays, and you were a resident. Yeah, Wet Republic we used to do together.
Yep, Wet.
And I stopped getting booked there because I was just like, I think I was just getting in trouble. I was like,
Faders and shit.
no, I was like, I was having run-ins with like the celebrity hosts and shit. Like, I think one of the girls from the OC, she got into it with me. And then who's the guy from Fall Out Boy? Pete Wentz.
He was out there one day.
He got into it with me, and like a whole Twitter war started. All these DJs started attacking him, and I think they were just like, I think we're good. There was the big thing is that they wanted only clean edits.
Yeah, too.
And then I didn't have the clean edits.
Yeah.
And I think one of the execs walked in, and I was playing like Kaya or something. Like I popped this pussy like this, and then Alex Cordova was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And he like ran. He's like, "Clean edits," and I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, because that area outside of Wet Republic, they have like a lazy river there and families, and those speakers play what's inside of Wet.
Yeah, it's a kiddie pool.
Yeah, you playing pop that pussy.
Do you still play at Wet Republic?
Yeah, I'm still there every Friday.
Last week, right?
That's crazy.
Bro, he just get that video, the Bad Bunny video that was at Wet Republic.
Oh
yeah.
he did. Another viral video.
Yeah, man.
So like, there's a video. There's like obviously a chick. She's trying to blow it up. She's like,
She's doing the phone.
Oh yeah,
Hold the phone up. I hate that.
But
But
then
it's only Bad Bunny. You never see nothing. You don't even see Drake. Nothing. It's only Bad Bunny. I thought for a while he was like paying people to do this or something. It was like a challenge or something.
Yeah.
Every single phone that ever gets put up through the night only says Bad Bunny. There's nothing else.
And then she made a video like I requested Bad Bunny and he wouldn't play Bad Bunny.
They kept coming up. There like four of them. These two guys and her, and they kept coming up to the front. And they kept putting it up there, and I said, finally, I'm not gonna fucking play it. If you put it on your phone, I'm not gonna play it. And then one guy came up. Then I came a little bit later. I go, look, if nobody puts a request for Bad Bunny for the next 15 minutes, I'll play one. Then one guy came up and put Bad Bunny up. I go, and I shut the whole music off. I go, that guy right there just fucked it up for all of you right now. So no more Bad Bunny. And then she went on there and went,
no Bad Bunny.
Then she went on there and she goes, this guy said he'll never play Bad Bunny. And like, it got like 3,000 comments, the viral one. And like,
because it was
95% of them were like, yo, good for the DJ, good for him, fuck you. And then like a couple of them were like, oh, cancel him, but like stupid asses, you know.
But it was like posting on like a reggaeton, like
there was another big one that did it first. I can't remember what it was, and then Little John sent it to me, and then who was he sent it to my brother too, and then went on one of the other ones that you sent it to me on that one. It was like
Yeah, it was like some reggaeton,
It was-
Instagram, something.
It's crazy.
Like Costa Ricans or something. What was it? Or Puerto Rican website or?
Oh yeah,
One
yeah.
of those. Probably more Puerto Rican than Costa
yeah.
Rican.
Yeah, sorry.
Something Rican.
The Ricans is
The Weekend Rican.
I know it's something Rican, right?
Yeah.
The relation is Rican. No. It was. I think, but on that side, there were people were going at you like it was racism or something. Like there's some stupid people saying stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't know, but I said I looked at a couple of them just for funny, but most of them, like almost all of them, were like good for him.
Yeah,
Bad
the one,
Bunny
I
sucks
saw,
anyway.
yeah, the one I saw, it was like, yo, he's not supposed to be playing whatever you want. Like, it's his job to play what he needs to play.
I went back on though. I went back on about 30 minutes later and played like 5 Bad Bunny in a row just to mess with them, and they were going crazy. She actually, the girl, her next one was like, oh my god, he played like all this Bad Bunny, but nobody posted that one. You know, that was the funny part.
Of course not.
But I played like 5 in a row on purpose, just knocked them out.
It's like the story of your viral life. Like they're only showing like these
Oh yeah,
The bad shit.
moments.
it's all about editing. We'll see how this comes out.
Fuck
shit.
Bad Bunny.
So wait, your younger brother is a DJ too, Stretch.
Yeah, DJ Stretch. Yeah,
DJ Stretch. So like what? How much younger is he? Like
he's 7 years younger than me.
7 years.
Yep.
And obviously he just sees his older brother and then following your footsteps, kind of.
I think when he was like about 18, I took him to for his 18th birthday. He liked Mustangs, so I rented a Mustang for him, got some beers and stuff. He's 18 years old, took him out to the strip club, Little Darlings, and his girlfriend at the time just popped up there. She's like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And I was like, bitch, like, you know
What
we
are
were
you
breaking
doing
here
here?
tonight. Yeah, she was 19. And she was like, oh, yeah, we just happened to be here tonight. And I was like, come on, man. I used to work there. I was a valet there and when I was like 18 years old. And that's a different story. But
I want to hear that. Story.
Yeah, Little Darlings.
But so I took him there, and we're hanging out, and I was like, she just popped up, you know, because like she's checking on him and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. All my boys were there. Everybody bought him a dance real quick, gave him a couple beers, and we dipped out the back, and I took him to Bot English. He was 18 just walked him in there.
Shit.
And then we had him on the dance floor, and that we had like a table on the dance floor on a Saturday night, partying up and stuff like that. And I think he got bit by the lifestyle. He liked it.
You liked it.
Yeah.
So, and then what do you think was his first time like watching you DJ in a spot?
He got into a few spots before he was 21. He used to watch him and his best friend used to come in all the time, and that's when I was playing house. I remember he'd always be next to me, like I'd be playing a song, and he'd be like, "You know what go good? This song." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that would go good. But I'm like, fuck you, man. Don't tell me. Yeah. But I was like, damn, he actually has it. He was only like 19, 20, and it's like this is like class remixes and stuff like Ride Like the Wind, those kind of songs, all those house tracks and stuff. But he always had a really good ear for it. I remember when he first started actually DJing, I used to get a lot of songs from him in the beginning because he was like downloading, like he'd spend 2 or 3 hours a day, every day, finding new shit. Yeah. Yeah.
We're on the same age group.
Yeah, for sure, man. But he always had like a good ear for like house music and for other music and stuff like that, especially house. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
I remember when I was already DJing now for like, 7 or 8 years or whatever, and kind of getting a little stale, not checking new music all the time. And I just go to him, like, yo, give me a jump drive, give me some new stuff.
So I have a question. So you guys are brothers. You went in it for the entertainment factor. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you think your brother did? He was more the music, you think?
Yeah, more the music for him for sure. He's always been more into music than I was, or I was always interested in rock and stuff like that. But he listened to a lot. But him and his best friend used to come, and his best friend actually passed away, unfortunately, when they was really young. Mm. And at the funeral, my brother announced he was going to become a DJ, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, they used to come see me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they would buy clothes, they could come to clubs and stuff like that. I remember when he passed away, his mom gave me this like nice jacket he had bought to come out to the clubs and stuff like that. She was like, I want you to have it because he bought this to come see you. So it was kind of, it was like it was nice. But like I said, at the funeral, my brother announced, like mic dropped, that he's going to become a DJ.
Yeah.
What was your instant feeling when you heard it?
He was working in the hospital, like in nuclear medicine and stuff. And then all of a sudden, was like, I'm going to become a DJ.
Oh shit!
Mic drop and walked off the podium. I was like, and then my mom looks at me and I'm like, shit, here we go.
What was your interest? what was the first thing you thought? Were you worried or
No, because he had good music knowledge, and I knew I'd teach him right. I made him learn on all vinyl and stuff. Bad Boy Bill sent us a bunch of records and stuff so he can learn on vinyl.
That's dope.
And just taught him, how to beat count and stuff like that, and how to mix the right way and stuff like that. Not on Serato, not looking at the lines and shit like that. Because when I started, I was on vinyl for about 3 years. So I'm so glad I had those 3 years. Before I went to Serato. And a lot of kids nowadays, they don't even know what that is. That you could never give them they would jump the song so far on a real record, or whatever. So it was nice to teach him how to beat match and everything else, on real vinyl for a while. And I basically wouldn't help him get any jobs or anything until I thought he was ready. So
did you have like a list of like this is what you do and this is what you don't do? Of like, stay away from this, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah, kind of. I let him do his own thing, but I've kind of, definitely given him pointers throughout the whole way.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure he's.
What's one of the main things that you wanted to make sure he didn't do, or like he did?
Just that he wasn't my little brother. I wanted to make sure he wasn't. This is Shift's little brother. I want him to be his own name. And
yeah.
I didn't want everybody to be like, because I got into DJing not from music too, so people already knew that about me, that I was not for the music. I was for the entertainment side of it. And then him coming up as my little brother, I didn't want people to fuck with him because of that, So I had to make sure he was like taking it legit. He's the baby of the family too. So you know how it is, either you have a younger brother, younger sister, sometimes they get stuff handed to him.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to hand him shit. I was rough on him in the beginning, making sure that he was ready for it, and the nights, the whole lifestyle around DJing is not the easiest lifestyle.
You want to make sure that he earned it.
Yeah, he had to earn it, for sure.
But not more importantly, that everyone saw that he earned it.
Yeah,
right.
I wanted to make sure everybody knew that he earned it himself. Everybody's like, "Oh, you taught him good." I'm like, "I didn't teach him shit." I gave him pointers, and then I'd say, do this is like homework, and then go home and practice it and come back, And I'd let him play a little bit, like 15 minutes or something at Taboo.
Yeah.
And let him try out a little bit, The next time, 30 minutes, and then 45, then an hour. Work your way up.
Yeah.
On his progression, I'd let him play more as he learned more about the skill of actually DJing.
So how long has he been DJing for?
Shit. I mean, like I said, I've been 20 years now, so he was.
Because I didn't really see him start popping until maybe 5 years ago or something.
No, I remember he had opened for me at Hayes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's been around for a minute.
Oh shit! I didn't really start seeing him on bills till like maybe 5 years ago though.
Yeah.
He's been
Am I
around for a
wrong?
minute.
Really?
Nah, he's been doing it for a while, yeah.
Maybe 2013, 14.
Really?
I started
Like
really
13.
connecting. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny because even at the time, I didn't realize he was his brother.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It was kind of cool to see him kind of come up, and then I was like, oh shit, you're Shiv's brother. Like that kind of makes sense, but they kind of came up different in a way too. Like how I knew Shift and how I knew Stretch, it's like two different things. So like it kind of like is a testament to what he's saying about kind of like allowing him to come up on his own a little bit.
Yeah. It's funny. Do you think who do you think's a better DJ?
I don't know, probably him.
You think so?
He's got better music knowledge than me for sure.
If you
But I've been playing more, just so many different varieties of shows for so long.
Right.
Like I said, I jumped in the deep end right off the bat. Within a year, I was playing with like Tiesto. The first year I was DJing, from touching.
Did you have like a
turntables
really
to-
big gig in Kansas City with him?
with
Tiesto? Or
no,
opening?
not him. I don't know who was out in Kansas City with. I did something out there. When was? But
it
I
was
did
years
like
ago.
Rehab. That's where I met Scooter at too.
Okay.
I met Scooter Novell. They used to come out there and do these parties out there. And I remember it was like 6,000 people in front of us, and Scooter just looks over at me and he goes, "Your spit or mine?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Your spit or mine?" And he just takes my needle, licks it, and puts it on. That's the first thing he ever said to me. "Your spit or mine?"
that sounds like Scooter.
Lick my needle, stuck it on, hop on. There you go.
Rehab was like one of your first residencies, right?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that like helped me. That I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now without Rehab for sure.
That was such a mega. That was the
That was
first
a time.
It was
man.
crazy.
That's the first like day party, pool party that changed
Yeah.
the whole game. I don't think everyone talks about day parties like they talk about Encore Beach Club, Wet Republic. Wet Republic was probably the next like banger the next like venue that took the reins from
Rehab.
Yeah, Wet came in 08 and
Yeah.
Rehab was like 03, I think is when it started.
03, 04, something like that.
Yeah.
That had a reality show too as well, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But Rehab just changed the game. It was just
Oh,
like
man.
For sure.
there would be no Wet Republic, Encore Beach Club, or Tao Beach.
No,
or
none of that, yeah.
None
It was
of
so
that.
massive.
Or Daylight. There
I think
would be
even when they just closed it, year before last, and I think it's still a normal Sunday party out there, and that's how many years is that? That was 17, 18 years. I think a normal Sunday was still like 300 or 400 grand they were pulling in. Wow. And they were like, we're going to close it down now because it's not productive no more, but they're still pulling in 300, 400 grand in 6 hours on a Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It was
insane.
crazy.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
One of the illest Sunday parties I ever been to was when they before Drake really blew up. I want to say he was already pretty big, but this was like 2011 summer.
Was that Lil Wayne and them
And
all
then,
there?
yeah, and it was crazy. They were charging, I think, $350 for women, and like $500 for guys. And
What?
people were paying.
Yeah.
And I think you might have been there. I think Deluxe was there.
I think
And
one time I was playing on there it was Lil Wayne on the stage at one time was Lil Wayne, Tyga, P Diddy was up there, Meek Mills was up there, Drake was up there, Floyd Mayweather was up there, all on stage, and I was playing for them like, oh my god,
This was
I was
like
the only
right-
white person on stage.
This was right when I'm on one came out.
They didn't even have white security.
right.
The first time you ever felt like a minority.
I think I'm on one by Khaled had just dropped with Drake and Rick Ross, and it was just insane, bro.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Yeah, that stage, man, used to get crazy. When they finally started playing hip hop there, the stage changed. It was different, man, for sure.
Shift your OG, man. Like, what do you think has changed the most in this city to you?
Oof.
For good and for bad. Let's do for good.
I don't
and
know,
bad.
man. I'm gonna plead the fifth on one of those.
Yeah?
Yeah. One of them I don't want to.
You don't wanna-
I still got a couple years left in DJing. I think. I hope.
What do you think's changed the most, in your opinion, over the last 20 years?
God, I don't know, man. It's
You-
not what it used to be though. It used to be basically one club every night. Monday night was this club, Tuesday was this one,
Right.
Wednesday was that one. That was it. That was it. And then the weekends, everybody kind of had a free for all and went for it.
But do you think that's because maybe there's like a
It's no exclusivity anymore, too.
well, what I was gonna say is that there was one DJ for every night, so you knew what you were getting every
Yeah.
night. So it
Yeah,
was
pure at the end there. I was doing
Yeah.
every Tuesday and every Saturday for like 3 years. It was just me.
But if it was
you know?
you, it was like you or Hollywood or there was like one of three that were
Three
just
DJs,
steadily in rotation. But now there's so many DJs, so they like every day and every week is different. So the sound, the identity of a venue is like a little blurred. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Music has changed a lot with it too.
Yeah.
You know, it goes on like a roller coaster ride. It goes up and down, between hip hop and house and back and forth. And then for a while it stayed up at that 128 because there was a crossover with David Guetta and Benny Benassi and all those guys, like that, Chris Brown, Usher, all them, Nicki Minaj. So it stayed up at that for a while. Then it came back to hip hop really hard. But then, as I said, you have now, it's a lot of, the music changes all the time for sure, but then now it's more the old DJ booths. When I played at 54 in the old days, I was behind the bartenders, behind the bottles. I'd be looking through like the Grey Goose bottles and shit at the dance floor, And then you started moving them forward. AM was one of the first people to help out with that, was getting us when he got Pure. Even Pure as the DJ booth was still in the corner. It wasn't dead center. When he got LAX, that's when he moved it to dead center. But before a long time, DJ booths were like, you were unseen.
Yeah.
You were just heard, not seen. And then
Did you like that, or did you like being seen?
no, I like being seen for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I'm more. I like the entertainment part of it. I don't like being behind it.
See,
I never did the.
I like being unseen.
Yeah,
I like being in the corner. You know what I mean?
just as long as they can't come ask me for Bad Bunny, I'm good.
So not much has changed then to you, but it's just harder. Like maybe throughout the week, like the industry nights kind of disappeared a little bit. Do you think?
Yeah, like I said, there used to be crews that came through. They go all this club Monday night at Rum Jungle. They would all come see
Wait.
54 Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, let's go through it. In our heyday, right?
Yeah.
It was Sundays at Body
English.
Body,
Sunday
yeah.
it was called Sunday School.
Originally, it was Sunday at Light.
Sunday
It was
at
even
Light.
before that was House of Blues was Sunday. It's called Sin. They started the original Sin Night at Service Industry Night.
I like this. Let's wait.
That's right, Sin.
Let's,
Yeah.
let's go
They
through.
give you a card.
All right, let's go through every day of the week.
All right.
And then let's mention the epic parties for every day of the week for Las Vegas,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
In our history,
Let's go.
right?
Yes. All right.
So Sunday, you got Body English,
Yes.
right? But then it was Light before that.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was what?
House of Blues
It was
did.
House of Blues.
And the Bank did Sundays too for a while. Remember?
Right.
For a long time, Bank
The
did Sundays.
The bank was popular.
But that was like
Yeah.
after Light.
yeah.
The Light is Bank, so it's Light
Yeah.
/ Bank.
And then more
Body,
recent,
Body and Vanity.
And then what's the more recent dope Sunday party? Do you think?
Sundres.
Dre's, yeah.
It was Dre's, right?
The last one.
And then probably Excess.
The Nexus they did Night
Night-
Swim.
Night
When they brought Night Swim to Sundays was
Yeah.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are probably the two now, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
just Sundres and like Excess Nice One.
For sure.
Okay. And then now let's do Monday.
Foundation Room.
Foundation
and
epic.
Rum Jungle.
Yeah.
Rum Jungle. Yeah,
And then-
Foundation Room's legend. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was our
That's
Rock
crazy.
Box Monday. Over at Taboo was Mondays
Taboo.
too.
And then you had Jet, right?
Jet
Mondays.
Mondays.
Jet Mondays,
yeah.
And then Excess Mondays, which
Yes.
don't exist
Excess.
anymore, right?
Yeah, they moved
Right.
it more Sunday.
More
And
Sunday.
that was to compete with Marquee Mondays.
Marquee Mondays.
Yeah, I was
Because they were killing it with LMF. Those
Those
LMFAO
party rock parties. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then they were like, we got to do something. I think they brought Diplo in
Yep.
on Mondays to compete, and it just fucking
Yeah.
blew off.
Good
blew it
memory.
off.
So that was Excess.
Like
Yeah, I was gonna say Marquee Mondays was a thing for
Marquee.
Big time.
They just stopped that now when the two combined.
combined, yeah.
They gave it to Jewel, and then they started doing Sundays, the circus party.
And
or whatever
Monday.
up there.
So the Monday now is Jewel,
Jewel,
right?
yes.
Yep. Okay.
Monday
So
night is
that's
Jewel.
it, right? That's from what we can think. And then Tuesdays.
Was pure.
If you want to go back
Tuesday.
far,
Yeah.
there was like Skin at Rain. They used to do a nighttime
Yes.
pool party. Skin.
Yeah.
What was Skin? What was
Skin
that?
was just the pool party at night, but you didn't get in the water. You couldn't get in the water. They wouldn't let you.
So you had
you
that.
walked around the pool.
And then you also had Tuesdays at
At the end, they let you start getting in the water, but at first you couldn't get in the water.
I mean, Pure was
Pure-
Tuesday.
it was
54 though. 54 was ran
Studio
Tuesdays
54?
for.
Oh really? I thought
Yeah.
they were Wednesdays.
Nah,
No, it was
Tuesdays.
Wednesday. Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, when I was like 18 sneaking in there. Tuesdays were insane. It was like I'd come in there and like me and this guy Brandon Grady, who was my best friend. We'd go there when we were like 18, 19, and we knew people there, so we got in. We'd see girls in line, talk to them, go in, hang out for an hour or two, come back. They're still in line. They hadn't got in yet.
Shit.
It was crazy.
You know, Scene was a resident there.
Yep,
On 54 on Tuesday.
that's where they did the 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
80s
That's
or
right.
2080s or whatever it was.
And then
80s.
what was the
20.
club that came after Rain at the Palms? I
There was Moon.
Moon. They had a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Moon
right.
did J Rock. J Rock did the Tuesday for a while
I remember seeing
during Pure.
DJ P there, right? And he
Yeah.
was still on vinyl.
Still on vinyl. Yeah, I never seen
Moon.
P there. He used to do Taboo with us too.
Yeah.
Remember? Yep.
I gotta say, man, Moon was one of like the weirdest clubs.
It was. Yeah.
And they had Playboy and they had Ghost Bar.
They had the retracting roof.
Oh yeah,
That would
Yeah.
open up.
that
Yeah.
never retracted, right?
I saw it a couple
I seen it a
times.
couple
I've
times.
seen it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was kind of ill. If it was like a really nice night and they did it, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
And then they had the Playboy
was-
Club.
Yeah.
Right under, but it was
Yeah.
more of like for gaming and just
Playboy there. And then over, that was like Roctagon or not Roctagon, there was Stone Rock and
Stone Rock and
and Graham. That was like
Yeah.
their playground there, man. Those guys bounced all around that whole
Bitch
property.
Friday, so
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
what a concept! Playboy Club. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Ghost
And then-
Bar,
and then
Moon,
yeah.
and Rain.
Yeah.
and the Palms just reopened, right?
Yeah.
It's reopening
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Insane. That's crazy. There's such a history with that
Yeah.
spot. I'm glad they're reopening, man. They're
too.
doing it big.
Yeah.
I think Lotto's over there.
Yeah,
this
this
coming
weekend.
Memorial
Lotto's,
Weekend.
yeah, they're gonna go big over there, huh?
Yeah.
Should be cool. All right, so that's Tuesdays.
Right.
Wednesday.
So, but now Tuesday now is Omnia, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only spot.
Yeah.
All right. So then now Wednesdays, the most
Used to be
epic
Raw.
I'm trying to think.
Raw
Yeah,
nightclub at
yeah,
Luxor.
Ghost Bar. Ghost Bar was good on Wednesdays.
Was it?
Because Dave
Oh
Fox
yes,
used to do a
that's
party.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot what the name of this party, but he would bring in like a bunch of indie house. Remember?
Wednesdays were always kind of weird, huh?
It was, Luxor had
Yeah.
Raw before LAX.
Yeah.
And Raw Wednesdays were like, it was called,
And then LAX used to pop on Wednesdays too.
yeah, and then they came
That's
back.
right.
Yeah. I think Gusto was the resident at LAX.
When Raw went out, it did Thursdays on the way out. They went to hip hop night, and then when they reopened LAX at Raw, they did Wednesdays again with like me and Vice and AM and stuff.
Wait, how come I can't think of any epic Wednesday?
Oh, and then
You're Wednesday,
One Oak.
buddy. Lavo.
One Oak.
Oh, yeah, Lava.
Lavo
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
Lavo.
Yeah, Lavo.
Old school Wednesday.
but also
Ghost
remember
Wednesdays.
Tangerine? Do you remember
Oh, Tangerine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tangerine. That's what it was.
Wednesdays was there. Yeah, I forgot
And
about
then,
that.
and then it became
Club
Christian
Audige.
Audige. Oh my
Christian
God.
Audige, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that was horrible. Oh my God.
Tangerine was popping though.
God, I hated those shirts and stuff.
Tangerine
They
was
looked
hard.
like me with my shirt off.
That's you.
Yeah, I looked like an Ed Hardy.
Wait.
With all your tattoos.
Were you Ed Hardy, Christian Audige? You were.
No.
He didn't need to. He had the
I
tattoos.
had it, man. I did just take my shirt off.
That was Dave Christian, right?
I think so.
He was
Yeah.
the resident there at Tangerine and then
That's
over there.
what I heard Karma for the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first time I ever
Karma and Casanova.
Tangerine. Yeah.
Nasty. Casanova.
Yeah, Casanova was over there too.
Wow. Oh yeah, Tangerines. That was the epic. And we used to
And
go.
Riz used to come and spin over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Riz would play there a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
used to do Tuesday at Pure.
that's
and
where I first met
Tangerine.
Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riz.
Spider, that was one of his first times spinning
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Vegas. He did Tangerine.
He was rough
He won the
back then.
contest.
Yeah, he was.
He won that
super
Mark
rough.
Ronson contest.
Yeah, I love you, Spider, but those are he was super rough.
Rough tape.
He was rough. because he won that contest, and I remember I was in there, and then after we heard him, we were like, "Yo, I don't what contest did he win?"
Damn.
He's nasty now, though. He's crazy now, but back then it was just like.
What
and
contest did he
I remember because he used to always wear these hoodies. Remember the all over print hoodies?
Yeah.
What were they?
Yeah, that's right. The colorful
Rogue Status?
No, it was LRG or like Trunk Fit.
It was like purple, a light purple, dark purple.
Who had like all these bright, disgusting hoodies? I forgot what Rogue Status, maybe?
Rogue Status was the one with the guns.
He would wear that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rogue
it was
Status-
like whatever.
famous.
Robert Diedrich, right? Whatever Diedrich
Rob
was
Dyrdek,
wearing. Dierdich.
Rob Dyrdek.
Robin Big. Whatever
Yeah,
that
Robin Big.
motherfucker was wearing. He
Young
would wear
Reckless.
those.
That's Rogue Status. Famous.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has
that's
like
Rogue Status.
Yeah, he would be like wearing these like all over print joints.
Yeah, Rogue Status.
And I remember like when we heard him, we were just like, oh man, he's like he could scratch and he was nasty.
dope, yeah.
But the selection was like it was like I remember like one of his songs was like a tipsy beat with the Iko Iko on there. Your grandma
That wasn't
and my
bad. That wasn't that bad.
Come on, bro. That was like, yo.
At the time, too.
I think we were just like, yeah, all right, man. I remember.
These joints?
Yes, this is
The
it.
Rogue
Rogue
Status.
status.
Rogue Status.
I knew it. Rogue status. But no, come on, man. That was like the first time he was doing clubs too, though.
Yeah.
He was rough. He was rough.
I remember meeting him over at they did what was that small room over at the Wynn when they had Labette there and stuff like that. They had a small little spot on the side.
Shit.
I can't remember the name of it now. I'm trying to figure it out. It was I played there before, like Cascade, LMFAO performing there.
Yeah, you know
It's
exactly what
tiny.
you're talking about. The small little lounge. It was
When they first opened, they had Labette.
Yeah.
And then it was Trist. But they had a small side room. I think Brandon Rogue was like one of the promoters there.
when
or
it
something
became
like that.
Not Blush.
Blush.
Oh,
Blush.
Yeah. That's where I met him at
yeah,
Blush.
yeah.
There you
That's
go.
right,
There you
yeah.
go. There you go.
Wait, Blush had a Wednesday, right?
That's where I met Spider
Yeah.
at.
Blush Wednesday.
Yeah, Blush Wednesdays.
Yeah, yeah.
Blush used to pop too.
Blush.
So I was in there with LMFAO. They were standing on top of the bar, and they had the speakers, and they were in the goddamn roof, like in your house.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like they're in the ceiling. They weren't like
That was
it
Sean Christie's
terrible.
spot.
Yeah,
Sean Christie, yeah.
First spot
That
he
was his
opened.
first spot.
Yeah.
yeah,
That spot was popping, bro.
Wait, what was the industry night for Surrender? Was it Wednesdays?
yeah. Wednesdays.
Yeah.
It was because when
Always.
Blush closed, he moved that Wednesday
Into
Blush
Surrender,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
to Surrender. Wow, it's such
What
a
else?
history.
One Oak Wednesdays.
All our listeners are not
Yeah.
going to give a fuck about this. We're the only ones enjoying
They weren't even born.
Was it Taboo Wednesday?
I think they did something like that for a while. And I remember LAX did a Wednesday for a long time.
Did Light Group have a Wednesday? Did they?
Yeah, One Oak.
Well, Light Group was One Oak, yeah.
One Oak. at the
Oh,
time.
One Oak Wednesday. I completely
But
forgot about
that came later though, because wasn't One Oak initially on Tuesdays?
I think they did do some a different day.
Yeah, I think initially it was Tuesdays, and then it
Really?
transitioned to Wednesday at some point.
Who else did Wednesday?
Yeah,
But you're kind of right. No one does anything big on an industry night anymore,
Yeah.
No.
right?
Well,
like
OTR's on Wednesdays.
yeah,
OTR now.
They
now
did
there's
Wednesdays
OTR on
for.
Wednesday.
Is it still Wednesdays or?
Yeah, still
Yeah.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
and then
So-
Encore Beach at night.
Encore Beach Club on Wednesdays now.
And
There's the
Thursdays.
big Wednesday, and then there's On the Record.
Yeah,
Right.
those are the two.
Those are the two. Wait, let's go. So Thursdays,
Tao.
hands down, Tao.
Yeah,
It's still going.
Still going.
Since 2005, it's been
Is that
like,
the longest running industry party?
has to
For sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Hakkasan was doing Thursdays for a while, right?
They still are. I think
They still are?
Yeah, they quit doing their Sundays. They were doing Sundays too.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now they're just doing Thursdays. So it's not there Thursday. Where else? There's one other spot right now.
I feel like no one.
Oh, I think
ever-
it's Zook.
Zouk Thursday.
I always forget.
Yeah,
That's
Zouk.
like-
Well, Zook is doing Thursdays.
yeah.
But no one's ever been able to mess with Tao on Thursday.
Nah,
Nah.
it's just the perfect storm, man. I mean, like the restaurant's sold out. Everyone does their like industry parties there, birthday parties, mad groups of people doing dinner, goes to the club after. And then Five was holding it down for what, 15 years,
15 years.
every Thursday.
They
That's
never
right,
they
yeah.
never put his face on the flyer.
It was just the little Buddha statue.
That wasn't him when we got there.
But then that goes back to what we were saying, right? Like that night just had such an identity.
Yeah.
With the industry night in Five, it just worked.
Yeah, I met Jason when he first came to town. He when they were going to open, and he asked me to come in because I was doing rehab and Pure and stuff. And he said, "Yeah, we're coming from New York." Him and Andrew Goldberg. And they're like, "We're going to open this club up here." And I met him like they were staying like at a week-to-week rental place. And I came and met him. Like, "We want you to come over. We're going to have girls in bathtubs with flower petals on their nipples and stuff." And I was like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, right. You're not going to do this shit. And then we opened up, and they had girls
Yeah,
with
they used to do
bathtubs
those-
and flowers and stuff. And they just been crushing it ever since, man. They changed the game a lot. I kind of think like before Tao, it was like you waited in line. Like I said, when I would go to 54, people would be still in line the same place almost when I walked out 2 hours later. When Tao came in, they kind of started giving everybody stuff. You know, they would give a group of big girls, you know, a comp bottle. I remember 'cause I was a promoter when I first started DJing there at Tao, and I used to promote around for other spots in town, and it was like you was like a gift if you got somebody on a list. It was like you had you know, you're not getting on the list. And then they started opening up just everything. They were more about quantity to get people in, you know. They started filling clubs up. And I think that's what the difference is now. If you want to ask, the real difference is it's not exclusive anymore. They just do everything to get people in. The old days, clubs had lines for hours on just regular resident DJs. You know,
I mean,
you,
was,
me,
yeah.
any four of us would be playing, and people would probably not get in if they got in line after 11 o'clock. You know,
But then there was a dress code.
Yeah,
there was dress code
strict
too.
Dress code.
I mean,
Yep.
It was way, yeah, you're right. It was way more exclusive. But they also, as exclusive as it was, they took better care of locals and they took better care of industry people.
Yep,
Like
sure.
now it's like, I don't know who to talk to, and if you tell them what you do, they might not give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's like you don't give a fuck, but you're gonna just let you let these motherfuckers in. Like, but we work. It's a little weird now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny that back then, and the one thing I think it was also missing was there were like more events. So even if they couldn't afford a guest, there was like some type of event, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember they did like stripper pole events and
Palooza.
Palooza.
What was the one we used to do at bank?
Gold
the
digger
the spray guns and shit. Remember that one at bank?
Which one?
They had all the plastic wrap everywhere. Where you spraying everybody down and shit in there, like a. You ever do that?
Are you talking about the gold digger?
The gold,
No. They would do one there where it was like a water balloon and spray gun war in the middle of the club. They covered everything up with plastic wrap and shit.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yeah,
in the club.
They were just constantly. They were like, let's do like this award or like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
celebrate all these girls.
And then
or
the
like,
trade shows were huge still
Yeah.
during that time
Yeah.
too, between Agenda, Magic, right?
you don't see that
all that.
marketing anymore though.
The adult film convention was stupid.
Oh, that was big.
That whole week would be crazy. CES that whole week would be crazy.
Yeah,
Any
instead
big
they
fights.
just want to throw $300,000 at a big house DJ now and stuff. You know, instead of trying to put a marketing plan together now.
That is the marketing plan now.
that
It's
is
just
the
having
marketing
the like
But you know
big
who's
DJ.
doing
Who can
really
spend the
good with
most.
that is like XS, The Win. How they
Yeah.
have like all these like the Art of the Wild,
That's a good one.
and they have
Yeah.
like different like kind of they'll redesign everything.
That's
I think
one
that's
of Z's parties.
That's Z, yeah,
Yeah.
Z, of course. And then like, but I also what I commend about Tao, like being around for this many years, right, over a decade or so, like
Almost
they're-
2 decades now.
2 decades. Now. They continuously redoing the club. They're updating it. Like every year, there's like a new LED screen.
Yeah.
Or they like add something else, or they change the DJ booth.
Yeah.
They're constantly like upgrading it so that when you go there, it seems a little bit different. It's not
Yeah.
like the same old fucking
Like
club.
now, even you go to the entrance, there's a escalator to the left that takes you directly up to Tao Beach. That was never there before.
Yeah.
It's pretty ill.
Tao Beach, I haven't been there yet, but it
haven't
looks
either.
ill.
I still haven't gone yet.
It looks ill. I need a reason. Like I got to go there. But yeah, I mean, fuck, man. All right, so Thursdays I was just Tao, and then that's it. Right?
Tao Trist had
Trist.
a run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trist?
That's right.
Trist
yeah.
had a good run on Thursdays.
That's right. Thursday at Trist.
Yeah.
Maybe Thursdays were weird in Vegas, right? It was. They
Yeah,
weren't
and
many.
then-
Yeah,
wasn't that
Dre's
much
had a
going on.
good run when they had Esco doing it for a little bit.
That's
on
right.
Thursdays, but
That's
it was. I feel
We used to
like-
do a night before the clubs took off, right when Tao opened. All of us, like me, Jimmy Greenup, Bob Schindler,
Jimmy Greenup, shut
Z,
down.
Sneddinger, we'd all dress up. We called it Tourist Thursdays, and we go down on the strip, buy ugly Vegas shirts, and get the yards of margaritas, and act like tourists, run around, look like Fear and Loathing outfits and shit, and run up and down the strip and just play tourists. And we call it Tourist Thursdays because there was nothing else going on Thursdays before then. That was like 18 years ago, 19 years ago.
These guys are crazy. some real white people shit. Yo, I got a question. So when you were promoting, you were getting a cut for every table you bring in?
Yeah, and that's how it usually goes. You get get paid per person.
Do you do that while you DJ too?
When I first started, I was I was
now-
getting two paychecks. I would open as a DJ or whatever, and I'd bring people in, and they'd give me, like 4 comp bottles for my people, and like a stack of drink tickets, and I'd come in, I'd get paid for that group, X amount of dollars for for that, and then for my set, for my opening set, X amount of dollars. Then once I became a bigger DJ, I just left the promoting side of it behind. I've had a couple clubs, want to give me, like, oh, if you book these tables, we'll give you a cut. Like the host make a cut,
Right.
But I don't want to deal with that shit, I don't have time to deal with that.
It's a headache.
I'd rather just give it to the host.
Yeah.
And then give it to the host. I have all the clubs are like, why don't you give it to us? Because they don't want to pay the hosting. All the tables I bring in. I said, I'd rather still just give it to the host because then he'll deal with the whole thing. Because I want my people to get in. If you go to the club, not to a host, they're going to be put like in the BS line in the back. Take them 2 days to get in. At least the host will get them in right away for me because they're getting a cut of the money. Mm-hmm. So they get them in for me right away. And then if I ever have a problem or I got friends out front, or family or something like that, I call the host. They get them in right away because I give them my tables and they make money off that.
Right.
So I'd rather keep that, just give it to them instead of trying to make a cut of it or whatever else,
I remember like one of these dudes that I knew would come with me into like one of my gigs, and I'd get like 1 to 2 comp bottles. I mean, like the clubs don't really like keep a tabs. Like if the party's good,
They do now.
They do now, huh?
Yeah.
Like if the party's good and shit and it's popping, they'll just keep bringing bottles out. So I think what he was doing, and I didn't know, he was selling my bottle to his crowd. So he was like a promoter.
Yeah, I've had that happen a lot.
You had that happen?
I've had to kick a lot of people out from
Really?
hanging out. Oh yeah.
So like when
They would charge people to come in like $40 a person, then walk them in with me, and they were taking that money and keeping it, never giving it to me or nothing like that.
Or what he would do is he would sell my bottle for $500.
Good Lord.
So he would get 500, and then we get like I don't know, I think we got like 2 bottles, and it was his people's, and I was drinking some of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was my bottle, so I was drinking my bottle.
Right.
So then I remember at the end of the night, he gave me $400.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yo, what is this? He's like,
Your cut.
Yeah, he just said your cut. And I was like, yo, like, what do you mean? And he's like, I sold you a bottle. I said, like, the dudes, like, if you want to do it again, we can run it again. Run it back. And I was like, I was like stressing. I was like, I could get in trouble for this shit. Like, I was like, he's like, and I remember I was like back at the same spot. He's like, I got these dudes, man. They want to get like, 1, 2 bottles. We can run it again. I was like, yo, man, like, I was just like, I can't do this, man. It's like too much pressure for that shit.
I don't want no parts of this.
I can't do that shit. But I mean, fuck,
Did
man.
you take that 400 though?
I did take the 400. One and done. That's it.
I let you.
I plead ignorance. You know what I mean?
I guess.
How did that feel during the pandemic when you weren't DJing and shit? And then it's just like everything closed. It's just like such a polar opposite, right?
Because I do
Your lifestyle.
I do probably at least 200-300 shows a year sometimes, because I double up between pools and nightclubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So to have all that just ripped away from you, and at one point I think I was everybody had it. I've been DJing 200-300 shows a year for 16 years or so. It's a lot of shows. You get kind of burnt out, and I thought I was feeling a little bit burnt out, a little bit. And then when it got ripped away from me, it like re-energized me. It was like, oh wow, I missed this. I can't. Like the fact that I can't do it anymore is like I really want to do it. So.
Is you like we were talking? You did all of these businesses like just in case, like it didn't go back to normal, right?
I was
you
set up
you didn't think it was going to go back to normal.
I bought a new house in 19 right before it, like in December 19.
Yeah,
that's
scary.
And we paid it off cash, like, and then all of a sudden, 2 months later, out of work, like, holy shit, that money that could have just paid that house off could have lasted me for 15 years, And I was like, oh my God. But I still had, a good amount of savings. My mom always taught me to save a lot and stuff, man. So I don't try to spend too much. I have a balance, between my aunts and uncles spend too much and my mom doesn't spend nothing. So I got a good balance of living that. Thank God for her. But I remodeled, I cooked, hung out for the first year. Then year 2, I remember the debates were going on. Biden's talking about, if I get in, I'll shut the country down for like 100 days. And I was like, oh man, if we don't get back, I'm good for 1 year to chill and spend money. But I wasn't prepared for another year. So I went out and started doing construction stuff on the side. I started a boat and jet ski rental company on the side, doing stuff like that. Airbnb up in Utah, I got that. So they were all bringing in a little bit of money. My Airbnb, we crushed it the first year of COVID because people couldn't fly around, so they were going to destinations like Airbnbs. So it did really good. So I knew in my head, I was like, there's 2 ways this can go. I'll buy boats and jet skis. If I can't DJ, there's families that'll come book it all the time. And I know what you could make a couple $1,000s a day for a boat and stuff. So I was like, I can make money.
It's like a party boat, right?
Yeah. And so I knew I could make money off it doing that. And if we opened the clubs back up and it went back to normal life, then what I would do, I would just rent it out on the weekdays to all my friends would be back working too. The busboys and waitresses and all that would be working. They'll rent it on the weekdays. And that's actually what happened. I did the first couple weeks. Then we got back to DJing last year in March. And then after that, I was just going out once or twice a week with different clubs. Omnia would book it or Wet Republic would book it, the waitresses or birthday parties or whatever. And I was going out once or twice a week. And now that we're full-time back, I might focus on a few other things. That was just an easy fix. Like I said, the Airbnb and that was something that if people could not travel and do stuff, it would be an easy way to make money. But now, that we're back DJing full-time, I don't have to do it anymore.
But it's still like a good business. You just have to like sell it to somebody, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna sell the stuff off. I paid cash for it all, so I put like
Right.
about $300,000 in toys out there, so I can, and you can. The cool part is right now you can sell everything for what you paid for it.
Or more.
There's a lack of things in the market. Cars, everything right now, stuff that's 2 or 3 years old, you're selling for the same price you paid for it, and that never happens with toys. So I'm probably just gonna dump it all and put that money into something else.
It's crazy. There's no resources right now for anything.
Nothing, man.
I've never seen cars
yeah,
actually go up in value.
yeah.
It's insane.
Like a Honda Civic is going up in value. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. I think someone I know bought like a Lamborghini truck and it's worth like 30% more.
Yeah.
Yeah. The G-Wagons, the G-Class Mercedes SUVs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're selling for like 50, 60 over sticker.
Yep.
It's insane.
It's definitely a weird time, right?
Yeah.
I had an RV that was 4 years old, and I sold it for the same exact money I paid for it 4 years before.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't lose $1 on it. And those things, like as soon as you buy them, they like go down like half value.
Like good luck trying to get a pickup truck right now in the U.S. Like a F-150
Come on, man.
or a Silverado.
What do you think about what do you guys think about what's going on right now though? Does it sound normal? Like all of this shit and everything?
Sounds like bullshit, but
I mean, it's
like all the property values going
it's
up.
uncharted
skyrocketing.
territory.
That's
man.
crazy.
Like I was talking to somebody and they were saying they bought a house like in like last year and it went up $100,000 in Las Vegas.
mine went up a lot. That one I bought 19 went up probably 60%
That's crazy.
in 2 years.
But is it kind of scary because when something goes up so fast?
yeah, well,
it's gonna come down.
you got drops come down.
Yeah.
Don't have to. It's like thinking when you're sitting there with the, I got $1 million in Bitcoin. No, you don't, because tomorrow it could be 40 grand. You got to ride the waves.
Now it's halfway down.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is ass right now. Yo.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
26
It's fucking
grand.
ass.
But that's what's
right
the same thing with the housing markets. You can't bank on what you can sell for. It's not until the day you sell it that's what you have.
Right, right.
You don't know what you have until you actually somebody takes it off your hands.
I'm telling you, the big dipper is going to be 2024, man.
You think so?
That election,
The
year
new
is gonna
election.
be an ass fuck.
Man.
That election year is going to be an ass fuck. I'm telling you right now. All the crazies are going to come out. The people that you didn't know were crazy are going to turn into crazies, and then they're going to be like on some real crazy shit. 2024, It's going to be nuts. That's when I'm gonna have my money.
Save up, yeah. Get ready. Get ready.
I'm gonna start buying some property.
You got 2 years to save up. It's 'cause
Buy some property. I'll be like, oh yeah, there's some
Could be like a buffet line for you.
Yeah, there's some gunshot damage on the side. I'll take that. I'll take the house though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The backyard's a little burnt up, but it's okay. I'll take.
Here's
that shit.
100. Here's 100 grand. Just fix it out.
It's gonna be all out fucking war. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be like, I'm dropping
Yeah.
deposits down.
yeah, definitely everybody save up the next 2 years.
Oh man. Well, hopefully, I don't know. We'll be okay by then.
Yeah. If not, we
What the new normal
We'll work
is.
for shift again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're making other business, and we all run the boats.
There we go. There we go.
We'll help you run the party boat.
Yeah.
There you go.
The jet skis. Teach them how to swim. Oh man. Is there anything we want to ask Shift? Anything?
A lot of people don't know that you're not part of any type of agencies.
Right.
You do everything yourself. And why is that?
Well, you've had agencies approach you, right?
Yeah, and I've had a couple of them, like friends of mine, that I've let them like put my name on. Like if it's like one event, I'll give them like a cut of that one event. I've never been with like for the full agency, just because I don't need to give somebody 20% or 10% or whatever it is, and I like controlling mine. If I want to take a month off, or if I want to do a show for $100 or $100 grand, I want to control what I'm doing, But I put myself in that situation over the years of making those relationships and stuff like that. So not everybody can do it, it's not for everybody. Some people, sometimes I wish I had the team there because I'm doing so many other things right now that I could use somebody doing that for me for sure. But I still like being in control of it, figuring out what city I'm going to be in. I can bounce flights. I know what flights go to what cities from there easy. So I'll call clubs and, set up my schedule the way I want it, instead of letting somebody else do it. And then just having your creative control. Like I said, if I want to do a show, if somebody's birthday for $100, I don't want a manager telling me, no, we need, X amount of dollars for it because they want to get their cut. So I can do whatever I want then. But like I said, it's definitely not for everybody,
And you handle everything yourself. You have no assistant. You handle your invoices, book your flights.
I had an assistant who was one of my best friends from before when I was from high school. And I was paying him like $1,000 a week just to do my invoices. And he would and pick up my checks and go cash them.
Yeah.
And he had to go pick them up. They didn't used to mail them out. And then sometimes 3 weeks would go by and they'd be like, hey, can you send it? They'd email me, can you send your invoices in? I'm like, I hit him up. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I didn't send them yet. I'll send them. You didn't send them for 3 weeks? I was like, you cashed the check I gave you though, man. For 3 weeks, you've been cashing those checks.
And you're paying $4,000
and then he wouldn't,
month?
he wouldn't pick the checks up for like a month or two. And I'm like, and then he go deposit them. I'm like, what am I paying you for here? He didn't even book my flights. So I got, he ended up moving. And then, so we didn't have to have a bad friend breakup or anything like that. But then ever since then I did everything myself. I was no, why am I paying anybody for anything,
Do you feel like sometimes you lose that buffer when it comes to time for negotiations or anything?
Yeah, that's where you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's where it hurts you at because you need the guy, But I think now a lot of times
you need the bearer of bad news to just kind of you need that buffer to just be like.
Sometimes because if you do feel like you want something, you ask for something else too, where your manager asks for it. That's one thing too, where the music directors might get kind of mad at you, like, oh, I need this extra, and they're like, you're being prima donna or something like that.
But if your manager does it,
it's not a big deal. They're used to it all the time. Managers are always asking for more, but they should. And that's what I think a lot of times too, though. Sometimes, we're not going to say any names here, but some people used to book smaller amounts of people and they went to fight for them. We're all making eye contact right now. We all know who we're talking about, but we're not going to say names. Some people would go to bat and be like, this person needs this much money. And then now I think nowadays, a lot of times you don't see those smaller boutique ones. It's more about numbers. They'll say, I got this show is X amount of dollars. You don't want it? Cool. I have a bunch of other DJs below you that will take it. So they're not fighting for you no more to get more money. They're just taking quality or quantity now. So
it's just it's just so oversaturated, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like
that's what bad thing about COVID too. A lot of kids taught themselves how to DJ, how to DJ during it. And they don't know how to DJ, but they're doing it for nothing. Like, what they would rather do? Go play at a club for $300 for the night for 6 hours, $50 an hour, or go work at Amazon. What are you gonna do? Obviously, they're gonna do that. So I noticed. I think the people that got hurt the most during COVID were like the middle tier DJs like us.
right,
a lot of the openers and stuff like that. They're crushing it right now because they're open. What I noticed too is some of the venues that used to book me, like an opener and closer, then me, and then an act, they kind of nixed out the middle guy, and they just go with like a Tiger or something like that with an opener as now. So they cut out that.
Well, we had a conversation about this maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years, but we said when shit opens up, it's going to be in openers. The opportunities are going to go to openers.
The big guys are still making their money too.
Yeah, the big guys. So the openers come in, then they're probably getting maybe I don't know how much they get, like 300 or something to open. Now they're gonna get 500 to open and headline or do whatever the fuck. And when clubs started opening after the pandemic or after, when shit started opening up, they were the go-to guys. They felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And now they're the headlining residents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I sat out for a while still when it first opened just because I didn't want to drop my rate down and risk having to build it back up again,
Right. Yeah.
Or possibly never building it back up. So I kind of just sat the sidelines for a little while and waited for it to come back to normal because at first they didn't need them. I noticed a lot of clubs that used to book me on the road, they were like, no offense, we just don't need you right now. When they first opened, it didn't matter who was DJing. The iPod could be on. They were packed. And
people
I understand
so
that.
To be out. Yeah.
Yes, people just wanted to be out. And I knew it. I told them, I was like, don't book me right now. Because you don't need to make that money. Make your money back for a little bit. Book me when it comes back around,
Yeah.
So I was very understanding to it. Some people were not understanding to it.
I was understanding to it too, but I also saw it as just it's just like a factor of the industry to me. These young dudes have to come up. And this is the time for them to come up.
It was a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, but it's how long am I going to be taking the work away from a younger dude? You know what I'm saying? They need to come up somehow. Now you've seen all these other younger DJs emerge, like a Yo-Yoli or anybody, or even a Night Train coming up, they're getting these opportunities and doing the clubs that I was doing maybe 5, 6, 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I kind of see it as all right, cool. it's actually a good opportunity for me to just do different things, or just to like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Start doing like maybe rooms that I would want to do like on a bigger or smaller scale and whatnot. But I think it's just part of like,
Yeah,
the
it's rough to
industry,
teach them that. You can't really teach them that either. When I first came up, I didn't take anybody's jobs. I had jobs offered to me left and right. I'd say no to them.
But I don't think they're taking them. Do you think they are?
Well, if somebody had like a residency for every day, and all of a sudden they get offered it now, I had that happen to me where other DJs like who were above me to look up to had that residency like, oh, here, we'll give you this Tuesday, and I'd say no, that's person's night. I'm not gonna take it. Where other people nowadays, they'd be like, yeah, they'd start playing there, you know?
Yeah.
They weren't aggressively seeking it, but I had things that were, you know, the person was still there, and they offered me their jobs a lot of times in Vegas, and I would say no because I'm like, I have respect for that DJ.
Yeah, I remember like me being offered that shit, and I would call the person up.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, yo, are you cool with this? Like,
Yeah.
or like I told
People
them,
don't do that no more.
I told them I would talk to you first. And usually they would be like, yo, man, like, yo, do you?
Yeah.
And like, kill that shit.
Nobody's gonna say not to, you know. At least especially if you have the respect to call them up and do that. But these young kids nowadays, they don't care. They're just gonna come in and take whatever they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
know. I kind of just see it. I kind of understand, but I get your point. Like with the, I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe the sense of community and everyone like helping each other or looking out for each other. But then that also has to do with the fact that the DJ community is so big now.
Still big now, yeah.
It's so like vast.
For sure.
I mean, I've never had it to the, like, I've never seen Vegas to a point where I don't know, like, you know, I only know 40 to maybe 60% of the DJs. I feel like there's another 40% that I don't even know.
Right.
Yeah, in the
that are
old days,
working.
when you took somebody's job, you were taking their life away from them pretty much, man, because it was sad. You had 2 days a week at this club every week. That was their
Right.
money. When you took it away, now it's where everybody gets like their shot. It's not so bad, you know. If you somebody plays, you know, when they book us all at Omnia or Hakkasan or Wet, like it's like people play once a month there. So you're not really taking their jobs. But the old days, you were taking somebody's residency from them. You know? You were taking their Wednesday nights every week. That was like their money to feed their family. So you actually were taking something from them. Or now it's like maybe they get a few less gigs, you know. So it's not quite the same as it used to be. Like I said before, you had a DJ that was there this Tuesday or every Wednesday or whatever. Now it's mixed up. So,
But I think maybe the point was it was way smaller. You were gonna fucking see that person.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody knew each other.
Like it was you gonna see that person, and then if not, you're gonna hear from like 2 other or 4 other motherfuckers.
Somebody
like,
that know that
Yo,
person.
this dude, we were at dinner and he fucking went off on you for doing whatever the fuck.
there was 2 when I was coming up. There was when David Christian had the Thursdays at Tao, and then
Yeah.
5 got it.
Yeah.
And he went to 5 after that, and that was a big industry debacle. Who kind of pick sides? Who you going with, David Christian, or who you going with 5? And then when David Christian was over at
Hayes?
Pure,
Pure.
Hollywood took over Pure, and that was a huge one because they were really close friends. And it was, you know, Hollywood got the job, but it divided that group up. I was a close group with that group. I was close friends, and it divided people. People had to pick sides. Who are you gonna be friends with now?
Oh, wow.
It was a weird situation. That was a bad one.
It's funny, like, I mean, there's ego everywhere, but there's a big, big ego in Vegas. It's like when I first moved out here, even when I did the tryout, it was like the ego was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking nuts. The amount of ego. Like, there's some, I don't want to get into it too much, but yo, there's like, some of these like fucking people that I talk to, like, they just like, it's, how can I frame this without getting in trouble? Like one venue will be like, well, you know, are you working at this other venue? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, we can never book you now. And I'm like, well, why? Like, what the? You guys are booking like these other DJs who are everywhere.
Right.
Why is it with me? Like, you have a problem with this venue. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, what is the ego? Like, I don't understand why there's these egos with one venue to this venue. Well, this dude did this. And I'm just like, why the fuck am I in the middle? Like,
Yeah.
you're literally booking every fucking DJ in the sun, and you're worried about me. Like, it doesn't. I didn't understand that shit. And
I only had that happen to me a couple times. I've been pretty lucky that I get free reign to work at where I want to work at. You know.
Oh my! I mean, yeah, you're everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky, but that's the relationships I've built. That's why, you know.
Right.
If you don't build those up with each individual, you know, booking agent or manager or GM or whatever, you know, then you don't. That's something I did over the years. I built that up over years, you know.
Hey, yo, Shift. Thank you, man. It took a while to get you here.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
You've been busy. You've been like fixing cars and fixing machines and doing
Remodeling
boats,
houses.
putting your pool. Every time I
Cooking.
so for like two months, I've been hitting him. I'm like, yo, so how's this Thursday?
Man.
And then he'll just show me a picture of like a big hole in his backyard, and he's like, I'm doing a pool right now. I'm like, well, goddamn, okay. I'm like, what about next Monday? And then it's like a big structure that's his garage. He's like building a garage now. I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. And then finally,
I'm trying to get all that in real quick before it gets too hot.
Yeah.
Because once we hit like next month, I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm gonna hire people then. But this last couple of months, I've been just working as much as I can, get as much done as possible right now.
Yeah.
And then I'll take a couple. I'm really busy in the summer, and I don't want to work out in that heat, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
You having any boat parties this summer?
We can do one soon. We can do one.
You know what? For your birthday in September, you should do.
We should do one with Shift.
Do a podcast live on the boat.
This is a motherfucker who doesn't know how to swim. You're gonna go on the boat.
Hey, I'm down.
I got a slip out there. We can just do it right from the slip. Keep it right at the dock.
Let's do it,
man.
All right, so Never's birthday boat party.
Birthday, I'm down. Let's do this shit.
Yo, Shift, man. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolute pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.